I've been on many mission trips over the years, and I've been telling other people's stories. And as I look back on hundreds of hours of footage, I'm realizing that there's a story behind the story, and it's mine. So here's a collection of stories from my view, in my shoes. So Kelly is this 10-year-old boy in Kimana, Kenya, and he started a baseball team, but you're about to see he's so much more than that.
Sometimes there's a distinguishing feature that sets a child apart. Kelly is one of those boys. I mean, he caught my attention right away, and then I started to get to know him.
Kelly was one of those kids that he never asked for anything, and when he did, it was for his team. He never said, give me this, let me have this. We gave him something and he felt uncomfortable because he wanted the rest of his team to get it.
We brought some baseball gear for you too.
We brought some more baseball gear so you can keep teaching.
I was happy.
Were you happy?
Yes.
You were happy to help him?
Yes.
He lives in a family, in a small home that's right on the edge of Kimana that is, it stands well, it's a strong home, but it's very meager. His mother and father, we understand, are sick with HIV/AIDS. We don't know how long they have to live. They're very proud parents. They're doing their best with their kids. But the circumstances are such that we're not always sure if he's getting enough food. We understand from the school that his school fees are being helped to be paid for by the school, but we don't know how long that's going to continue on.
The kid is living in a one-bedroom shack with his mom and and dad and his little brother. They have no water, they have no food, they're barely getting by, and this kid is worried about other kids. It shows his leadership. Not to mention, the kid's actually really good at baseball.
Okay, throw to second baseman, step on the bag, perfect.
And Kelly, like so many other children in this area, just have everything going against them. And on an everyday basis, their life just seems very dark. So when you see someone like Kelly and you see a little bit of light in someone like that, you feel like it's an obligation to promote that light. So once we got to the baseball field and I saw Kelly running around with his team, I knew that was my moment to step in. Not only to teach baseball, but also to connect with Kelly on a higher level. What I was loving about these kids is they would make the most of any situation given to them. I mean, look at this baseball field. Most of us wouldn't even want to play on this field. But for them, it's a dream come true.
If it's to my right side as a second baseman, I underhand. If it's to my left side, I pivot.
You know, looking back, this is probably one of my favorite baseball moments ever, and it wasn't even a game.
Oh, dancing. Dancing with the ball. See? Before the bullet even comes, I'm ready. I'm dancing.
Anyone can watch a video on YouTube and learn how to play baseball, but there's nothing like teaching them in the moment, showing them, having them do it themselves so that they can apply it.
Okay?
They didn't even know what baseball was. And within just about 2 years, they look like a real baseball team.
Okay.
And that's because they are. They are now called the Mount Kilimanjaro Little League Baseball Team. And you know, when you create an opportunity, you create more opportunities. We wanted to go see this young boy named Malau.
Tell me, how is Malau? Malau, the boy with the prosthesis. Do you know?
Malau is doing very well.
Is he?
Malau was riding a motorcycle and his leg got stuck in the chain. His leg was barely attached and he was bleeding out. He drove unconsciously 2 hours to the hospital and the doctors saved his life. So not only was it a miracle that he made it to the hospital, it's also a miracle that he's still alive to this day.
Our organization, Dreamweaver, helped him get a prosthetic limb after he had lost his leg in a very bad motorcycle accident, nearly killing him. As we know, you've been through very hard time, but you have the courage of a warrior. Yes. You have given everybody inspiration.
When you look at Malau, you basically see somebody who looks like they're disconnected from life.
Tukupee nguvu kuendelea na sisi na ungeweza kuchukua hizo zawadi.
As the kids were giving baseball equipment, whether it was a hat, a glove, a jersey, a baseball bat, and they were saying also some kind words and words of encouragement.
Wow. Love you so much.
You start to see Malau open up, you start to see a smile.
We recognize that our players here have all worked very hard and they want to make sure that he's part of the team. You're going to do very special things in your life. You already have.
And when it came time to showing Malau how to play baseball, of course it was Kelly who stepped up and taught him.
Wow, that's impressive.
We were supposed to see Kelly the next day at his school to bring his school some sports equipment and also just to say goodbye to Kelly. But there was a big rainstorm that day and the roads just made it inaccessible to see him.
How's this? Is it okay or not? That doesn't look good. We'll get stuck in that. How far is it to walk?
Like 500 meters.
Oh, 500 meters.
So we walked.
Listen, if a kid starts a program in his school and he kept bugging the teacher, bugging the head teacher, there's this game, baseball, we have to play it, we have to play it. Finally, the head teacher calls Wino and says, "What is this game? You must come and teach it here." Now this kid, every day, he's teaching his classmates this game, so, I mean, come on. We have to go see this kid in his school and make this presentation. It means the world to him. This is the office. We walked all the way from the road. It was that important. Oh, Kelly, look at that face. Look at that face. Dude, huh? Are you so glad we came? Yeah? Did you tell your class about teaching Malau? Did you tell them? What did you tell them?
I told them the way he was helped and the way I taught him, and he was good.
Uh-huh. How did that make you feel when you were able to help Malau?
I was happy.
You led us. You were our teacher, and you're a teacher for everybody. So Kelly right now is going in. He's collecting the players that are part of a team that he's organized. And now he's stepping into a new stage of leadership by organizing, by teaching, by doing all the things that we know our youth need to do.
The whole school gathered around us for a presentation, and then of course they responded with a presentation of their own.
The song has a message. Don't go to the bar, don't go and drink alcohol, because there is a danger of getting HIV virus.
Oh, so this is an education song that the kids are singing to teach their parents. Don't drink, don't go to the bar.
It also encouraged their parents to encourage them to stay in school and get an education, because education is one of the only ways out of poverty in this area.
I love you. Love you too. All right? All right, take good care of those, take good care of the team, and beat them. Win! Yeah. All right.
You can go to the worst conditions in the world and still see a spark in somebody. But Kelly deserves so much more. Not just because he's talented and he has so much potential, but because that Kelly is somebody who wants to help other people even when he has nothing.
Now, for boys like Kelly and his little brother Morgan, you know, if we don't invest in kids like that, we are, I think we're missing God's message. There was a reason we were drawn to this boy, because God is saying, these are my lights. You come to that community for a reason, to notice them. And if we invest in Kelly, we're investing in God's plan. If we do not invest in Kelly, and we do not invest in Morgan, we are missing his message to us.
He had so much pride. He ran around, and it choked me and my wife up to the point like my wife will never forget this kid. And this kid went from being a poor Kenyan boy that has nothing to being a motivator for me and my wife, who had never even met the kid yet. And it's kind of hard to put it in words. We can grasp the pictures, right? And we can show, but I really think this kid, when he gets out, he's the kind of kid that will come back and save the rest of his brothers, because that's all he wants to do.
And that's how I see it in my shoes.